I've been involved in politics my whole life, and this is how you run and this is how you win. And it is a tight race, and I want to do my part to make sure that we have a Trudeau government tomorrow morning.
What sort of feedback are you getting from voters in your constituency? What is the most common thing that they're telling you?
Number one thing at the issue is Stephen Harper's past his due date, and they want a new direction and change, and they want an inclusive government and somebody who represents their values and inclusivity and positivity.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by an inclusive government? What does it mean for the people of Canada that Stephen Harper, in your mind and your constituents' mind, isn't providing?
Well, I think we've seen, especially in the last few weeks of the campaign, more talk about divisiveness around who is a Canadian, and not only that, but can Canadian citizenship be revoked, and also about what are Canadian values, rights, and freedoms, especially around people of minorities. And I think we want a government that is actually now focused on serving the people and talking about the issues that people are struggling with. We want more funding for our universal health care system. We want to tackle the economy. We want to work with the provinces more, and that's another one I hear a lot is, there's a lot of provincial issues that people struggle with, but there's only so much a province can do if a Prime Minister is not willing to sit down with the Premier.
For those who know their Canadian history, Justin Trudeau, of course, is the elder son of Pierre Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada a couple of decades back. Would it be fair to say that in his day, Pierre Trudeau was a divisive figure, especially considering that he was thought to be more aligned with the French-speaking Canadians than the others?
I think it really is who you talk to. And people in Quebec, again, it's who you talk to, and the same with the West. I think regardless of that, people admire Pierre Elliott Trudeau for being a man who had principles, who was not afraid to tackle those issues and be decisive. He was also an extremely passionate man, and regardless of your political views, you have to respect that in a politician.
And what's your assessment of how Canadians have warmed to Justin Trudeau? From our perspective, where he's being likened to JFK as a young man, he certainly is quite young and charismatic, is he?
He's extremely so. People have asked me, how does your leader stand out different from the other leaders? And for lack of a better word, I use human. He's extremely empathetic, and when he is having a conversation with you, he's listening to you, and he's entirely with you for that moment. And his intelligence is very much on the level of being able to relate to you. He doesn't hide his background or his upbringing, and he realizes he had a very privileged upbringing, but he wants to make the most of that and help people become to their full potential and help make a better Canada and a better world that people can admire again.
It sounds as though if Justin Trudeau does take you to Ottawa to form a government, that Canada will be very different in terms of its stance on the international stage, do you think?
I do. I think Justin will be a fantastic ambassador for Canada and Canadians, and I think people will be drawn to that. I think he will be great for international leaders to meet with. I think he will bring a lot of interest, not just the tourism interest, but also interest for companies to invest and be a part of the next generation of Canada. And investing is all about what Trudeau has run on in his platform. It's about making the investments now so that we can have a country that's able to adapt and be a world leader. And he's the only leader that's willing to actually do that right now.